Welcome to the 5-Minute Prime Podcast. Quick, actionable tips to master personal finance and real estate investing. In just 5 minutes a day, we'll help you build wealth and achieve financial freedom. Hey, Prime investors, Martin Maxwell here, and welcome back to the 5-Minute Prime Podcast. This is episode 60. All right. Last week in episode 59, we took a hard look at self-storage investing, and the feedback was incredible. It proved there's a real hunger for strategies that build resilient portfolios moving beyond the traditional rental. The core idea was about redesigning the landlord-tenant relationship to maximize cash flow and minimize headaches. Today, we're pushing that theme even further with an approach that lets you invest in the very foundation of the real estate market itself, but without ever having to screen a tenant or fix a toilet. You're not buying the house, you're buying the mortgage. Today, we're talking about how you can become the bank. I know what some of you are thinking. Sounds complicated, right? Wall Street stuff. But I want you to set that aside. For the individual investor, especially one who understands the single-family rental market, this is one of the most powerful diversification plays available. It's a way to trade the headaches of being a landlord for the quiet efficiency of being a Lien-Lord. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on the world of real estate note investing. So what does it actually mean to buy a mortgage? When a homeowner gets a loan, they sign two key documents: the mortgage, which collateralizes the property, and the promissory note, which is the actual IOU, the formal promise to repay the debt. And when you invest in a note, you are buying that IOU. You purchase the debt from the original lender and take their place, collecting the stream of principal and interest payments directly from the homeowner. This fundamentally redesigns your role as an investor. All of the operational burdens of being a landlord, the late night maintenance calls, the tenant damage, the evictions, they're gone. Your risk is no longer tied to a physical building, it's tied to a financial instrument. And the financial efficiency is staggering. As a landlord, you know that operating expenses can be a beast. Property management, repairs, taxes, and insurance can easily consume 30% to 50% of your gross rental income. With a performing note, your only significant expense is a small fee to a professional loan servicer who handles all the collections and compliance for you. It is a business model engineered for maximum cash flow. Okay, so it's efficient, but the real power is in the returns and the different ways you can generate them. If you remember back in our episode 57 mid-year market update, I briefly introduced a few alternative plays, and note investing was high on that list. It really breaks down into two distinct paths. First, you have performing notes. These are mortgages where the homeowner is current on their payments. You buy the note, often at a slight discount, and you collect a steady, predictable monthly check. In today's market, you can find performing notes generating yields of 8% to 12%, when a solid cash-on-cash return for a rental property might be 5% to 8% before accounting for a surprise roof replacement. That consistency is incredibly attractive. This is the true passive income play in the note world. And then there's the other side of the coin, non-performing notes, or NPNs. These are mortgages where the borrower is 90 days or more behind on their payments. Now, why on earth would you buy a loan that isn't paying? Because the banks and lenders who hold these notes want them off their books, and they will sell them at a massive discount, sometimes for as little as 50 cents on the dollar. This is where the active entrepreneurial investor can find huge opportunity. Your goal isn't to collect a check, it's to execute a workout. You might modify the loan to help the homeowner start paying again, turning a non-performing asset into a high-yielding, re-performing note. Or, as a last resort, you foreclose and take ownership of the property for a fraction of its market value. It's not passive. It's like fixing and flipping the mortgage itself, not the house. But it comes with a major trade-off you have to accept. Unlike owning property directly, you get zero benefit from property appreciation, and the income is taxed as ordinary income without the powerful tax shield of depreciation. So why is this conversation so critical right now in mid-2025? Because the current market has created a perfect storm of opportunity for note investors. First, high interest rates have created a lock-in effect, making homeowners reluctant to sell. But those same high rates are putting a financial strain on many households. This is leading to a clear, data-driven rise in distress. And here is the single most important data point I can give you today. According to a May 2025 report from the analytics firm Adam, the number of completed foreclosures was up a dramatic 34% from this time last year. Let me be clear what that means. Lenders are actively working through a backlog of distressed loans. They are systematically clearing their balance sheets, which is creating a fresh, growing supply of non-performing notes available at a discount. For the NPN investor, this is a clear signal that the buying opportunity is now. And the data even gives us a map. The states with the highest foreclosure rates right now are Delaware, Florida, and Illinois. That's where the hunt is richest. This all brings us to the playbook. How can you, as an individual investor, get started? There are 3 clear paths. First, and this is my strongest recommendation for anyone new to this space, is to invest in a note fund. This is the safest way to get started. You pool your capital with an experienced operator who handles all the sourcing, the incredibly complex due diligence, and the management. It's the apprentice model. Second, for your first direct purchase is to buy a first lien performing note. This is the sniper's approach. Start with a low-risk asset. This allows you to learn the transaction process, from vetting the seller to closing the deal and hiring a loan servicer, without the added legal complexity of a non-performing loan. Third, for the experienced investor, is to become the workout specialist with non-performing notes. This path for the active operator requires the capital and skill to manage the complexities of loan modification and foreclosure, reinforcing the importance of having the deep cash reserves we covered back in episode 51. But for all 3 paths, there is one non-negotiable rule. You must hire a professional third-party loan servicer. They are your shield against the complex web of federal and state lending laws. This is not an expense you can cut. So let's bring it all home. The biggest profits in investing are often found by taking a familiar asset and looking at it through a new lens. The note investing allows you to stay in the real estate world that you know, but to fundamentally change your role within it. You can trade the physical risks of property ownership for the financial risks of being a private lender, tailoring a strategy that fits your desire for passive income or active returns. Now your challenge today. Become a due diligence detective. I want you to go to an online marketplace like PaperStack or NoteTrader. You don't have to create an account. Just browse. Find one listing for a first lien performing note. Don't think about buying it. Just look at the data. What's the unpaid balance? What's the interest rate? What is the property value? Start to familiarize yourself with the language and the numbers. The goal is to move from passive listening to active investigation. Thanks for tuning in to episode 60. I'm Martin Maxwell. Keep learning, stay strategic, and keep building one smart move at a time.